Listen, some people only love you when you're useful. They love your car when they need a ride, your ears when they need to vent, your name when it opens doors, and your hands when there's heavy lifting. But the minute you need them, suddenly they're busy. They forgot. They're praying about it. Nah. What they loved wasn't you. It was the convenience of you. And let me tell you something, that kind of love will keep you broke in your spirit and overdrawn in your heart. You got to learn the difference between companions and consumers. Companions invest. They show up. They tell you the truth. They clap when you win and cover you when you're weak. Consumers withdraw until your account hits zero. And here's the trap: we mistake access for affection. Just because they're always around doesn't mean they're for you. Consumers vs. companions. Once you learn that difference, your whole life gets lighter. Consumers show up with empty hands and big appetites. They like your shine as long as it powers their plans. They'll ride in your car, call your phone, eat your time, and when the check comes due, they suddenly got somewhere to be. Companions. They bring something to the table. It might be wisdom, prayer, accountability, a ride when your car is down, a laugh on a rough night, or just silence that feels safe. Consumers drain, companions deposit. And if you don't measure that flow, you'll go emotionally bankrupt while wondering why you're always tired. Here's how you tell the difference. Watch patterns, not apologies. Consumers are great at "my bad." They'll mess up, say the right words, and repeat the same play next week. Companions don't just say sorry, they change. Consumers need you most when you set boundaries. Companions respect you more when you do. Consumers clap the loudest when they can claim credit. Companions clap even when nobody knows they helped. After time with them, ask yourself, do I feel lighter, clearer, stronger, or confused, guilty, and smaller? Your energy will tell you the truth your heart keeps making excuses for. I learned to stop confusing proximity with loyalty. A parasite lives closer than any friend. That doesn't make it family. Some folks hang around because your yes is free. Turn it into a thoughtful maybe and watch who vanishes. That's not a loss, that's a reveal. You don't have to make a speech or start a fight. Just start managing access like a grown-up. You are a resource, act like it. Your purpose has a budget. Your peace has a limit. If somebody only makes withdrawals, it's time to close the account. Now don't hear me wrong. Real companionship isn't about constant gifts or grand gestures. It's about mutual effort. Maybe they can't lend money, but they can keep a promise. Maybe they can't open doors, but they can pray for you in private. Companions invest in your becoming. They don't need you small so they can feel big. When you win, they don't feel replaced. They feel proud. And when you lose, they don't feel inconvenienced. They feel called. So do an audit. List who calls only when there's a crisis they created. List who checks in with no ask attached. Notice who remembers your dreams and asks about them. Notice who laughs when you share them. Then adjust the seating chart of your life accordingly. Put consumers in the balcony where their opinions echo, but don't direct the show. Bring companions to the front row. Give them first look at your ideas and first thanks when those ideas turn into results. And here's the good news. When you stop feeding consumers, God sends companions. It's like clearing weeds so the good roots can breathe. The right people will water your growth, challenge your excuses, and remind you who you are when you forget. That's wealth. Protect it. Choose companions over consumers, stewardship over people pleasing, and you'll stop feeling used and start feeling useful to your purpose, not just to their plans. People who only love you when you're useful don't have love. They have convenience. They're not interested in you. They're interested in the version of you that makes their life easier. The moment you stop serving their needs, the love dries up. That's not love. That's a transaction. And let me tell you something. If you're living your life trying to buy people's loyalty with usefulness, you will stay exhausted and unappreciated. Real love doesn't clock in and out. Real love doesn't have conditions attached. Real love is there whether you're shining or struggling. But some people, they treat you like a rental car. They only need you until they get where they're going. Then they drop you off and walk away like you were never part of the journey. This is why so many people walk around bitter, questioning their worth, thinking something's wrong with them. You start asking yourself, what did I do wrong? Why don't they treat me the way I treat them? But the truth is, you didn't do anything wrong. You just gave your loyalty to someone who was never planning to give it back. You gave your heart to someone who only wanted your hands. That's why you got to recognize when the relationship is built on your usefulness instead of your presence. It hurts, but it's freeing. Because the minute you see it, you stop begging people to value you. You stop twisting yourself to fit into their box. You stop shrinking just to keep their comfort intact. Here's what I learned. You can't force someone to see your worth if their only interest is what you can provide. If they can't celebrate you when you've got nothing to give but yourself, then they don't deserve the version of you that's got blessings to share. It's as simple as that. And you got to be okay with that truth. Because God didn't put you here to be everybody's tool. You're not meant to be used up by people who don't care about your soul. You're meant to walk with folks who see your value even when you can't lift a finger for them. So when you feel that sting, when somebody pulls away after you set a boundary or after you stop meeting their endless demands, don't chase them. That's not rejection. That's direction. That's life showing you who's real and who's not. And I promise you, the real ones will never leave because you're not useful. The real ones stay because you're you. And at the end of the day, that's the only love worth keeping. Boundaries protect peace the same way a lock protects a house. You can decorate the living room, light the candles, pray over the place, but if the door's wide open, chaos is going to stroll right in and put its feet on your couch. That's why you got to decide before the noise shows up what gets access to you and what doesn't. People think love means unlimited entry. No, love means honest rules. I care about you, but I won't let you bankrupt my spirit. That's grown folk love. That's stewardship. Here's what a boundary sounds like in real life. I can talk tomorrow. Not right now. I can help, but I won't be disrespected. I forgive you, but I won't relive this cycle. Simple, clear, and calm. You don't need a courtroom speech. You don't need to cuss folks out. You need to know your yes and defend your no. Because every unnecessary yes steals time from your purpose and energy from your healing. Say yes on purpose, not out of pressure. The first time you enforce a boundary, some folks will call you selfish. Let him. A locked door sounds rude to somebody who's used to walking in uninvited. Don't confuse their discomfort with your wrongdoing. Boundaries don't push away the right people. They protect the right relationships. When you say, I need to rest, the people who love you will say, what time should I check on you? The ones who are using you will say, so you think you're better than me now? That's your clarity right there. Boundaries also protect you from your own habits. Sometimes the loudest trespasser is your people pleasing. You keep volunteering for storms God never told you to stand in. You keep answering every call like it's a fire, and now you're burned out. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb and put your soul on Do Not Disturb. Schedule your quiet. Guard your sleep like rent's due on it. Protect your morning like it's the vault where your focus is stored. You can't be a wise steward of your gift if you're running on fumes. And let's tell the truth, boundaries will break a few traditions you were raised on. Maybe you were taught that family is everything, and you took that to mean tolerate anything. No, honor doesn't require access. You can love people and still love yourself enough to say, we'll talk when respect is in the room. You can forgive and still keep the door latched. Forgiveness heals your heart. Boundaries keep it healed. Watch what happens when you get serious about this. Your mind gets quieter. Your decisions get cleaner. You stop rehearsing arguments in the shower because you ain't in those arguments anymore. You show up to your dream with gas in the tank. Peace starts compounding like interest, little deposits of rest, prayer, and focus turning into a balance that can carry weight. And the beautiful thing, the quality of your circle goes up. Folks who value you will adjust. Folks who used you will exit. Either way, your life gets lighter. So write the rules for your peace and stick to them. Let your no be a full sentence. Let your yes be intentional. You are not cold, you are clear. And clarity is love in action. Love for God's assignment on your life. Love for the people who truly need you at your best. And love for the future you're building one protected day at a time. You can't pour from an empty cup. That's just the truth. You can grind, you can hustle, you can give and give, but if you're not protecting your own peace, eventually you'll collapse under the weight. Peace is fuel, and without it, even your greatest gift will stall out. People think strength is about carrying everything. No, strength is about knowing what not to carry. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it's survival. When your peace is intact, your vision is clear. You can hear God better. You can trust your gut more. You can see opportunities without the fog of stress. But when your peace is broken, everything looks harder than it is. Small problems feel like mountains. Simple choices feel like impossible puzzles. You end up reacting to life instead of directing it. That's why peace is not just a comfort, it's a strategy. Here's the part most folks don't realize peace attracts. When you walk into a room with calm in your spirit, people feel it. It's like a magnet. They want to do business with you. They want to partner with you. They trust you. Because calm communicates confidence. Nobody wants to follow chaos. Nobody wants to invest in somebody who's always rattled. Protecting your peace is protecting your reputation, your opportunities, your future. Sometimes protecting your peace means closing the door on noise. That could be toxic conversations, negative social media, gossip circles, or even your own overthinking. You got to know when to turn the volume down. Peace is not about silence. It's about alignment. It's about being in tune with who you are, what you value, and what God has called you to. So when you start making decisions based on peace, you notice something powerful. The wrong people stop calling. The wrong situations stop showing up. And the right ones, they find you. Peace is like a filter. It separates what serves you from what drains you. And the more you practice it, the sharper that filter gets. Protect your peace like it's your most valuable paycheck. Because it is. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose a job and find another. But if you lose your peace, it'll cost you everything. Your health, your joy, your creativity, your faith. And none of that is worth trading away just to keep someone else comfortable. True love sees you, not your utility. That right there is a lesson that will save your heart more times than you can count. Folks who truly love you don't measure you by what you can give them today. They measure you by who you are when nothing's on the table. They stay when the lights go out, not just when the party's popping. Real love doesn't come with an invoice stapled to it. It shows up for the long haul, not just the pickup. You can spot counterfeit affection a mile away. It's transactional, it's conditional, and it disappears the moment your usefulness expires. But true love, it's steady. It's the kind that sees your value, even when you've got nothing to offer but your presence. Here's how you recognize it. When you're honest about your struggle, and they still sit, that's love. When you fail and they don't turn a shoulder, that's love. When your wins don't make them jealous but glad, that's love. The real ones celebrate your growth without feeling threatened. They don't need you smaller to feel bigger. They want you full, thriving, and loud with your purpose. That's the kind of people you want near you, not people who only like the part of you that's convenient. And don't confuse generosity for value. Just because somebody took from you and left a thank you note doesn't mean they loved you. They love what you supplied. True love invests when there's no immediate return expected. It stays up praying when you can't. It steps in not to collect, but to carry. It's not moved by a resume or a bank balance. It's moved by consistency and character. That's rare, and when you find it, you don't bargain with it. You protect it like a blessing. You got to practice seeing people the way God sees them, not the way your schedule demands them to perform. Give your loyalty to those whose loyalty is proven, not promised. When you start valuing people for who they are and not what they do for you, your relationships will shift from contracts to covenants. That's grown folk love, mutual, costly, and true. Now, protecting yourself from utilitarian love doesn't mean closing your heart. It means opening it wisely. Set standards without becoming stone. Teach people how to treat you by what you accept and what you won't. If someone's affection comes with fine print, ask them to remove it. If they can't, let them go. That doesn't make you cold. It makes you discerning. And here's the promise. When you stop trading yourself for usefulness, the right people, those who see you for you, start showing up. They bring loyalty, not ledger entries. They don't just show up when you're useful. They show up because they value your soul. Hold out for that kind of love. It's the kind that builds homes, not just temporary shelters. It's the kind that stays when the applause fades and the bills come due. Treasure it, guard it, and be that kind of person too. Love that sees the person, not the profit. Look, don't let people treat you like a toolbox they borrow and forget to return. Value yourself enough to set the rules, love people without losing yourself, and stop trading your heart for convenience. When you protect your peace, choose companions over consumers, and hold out for love that stays when you ain't useful, you'll stop being exhausted and start being exalted. Keep your circle honest, your boundaries firm, and your faith louder than your fear. Do that, and the right people, the ones who love you for you, will show up and stay. Now go live like you matter, because you do.